Hi, everyone. Welcome to our weekly meditation with Pebble. We're so glad you're here. So, mixing it up a little bit today. Normally, we have music playing, and I thought today we would just kind of explore not having music and explore starting to kind of get comfortable with silence. I know when I first started meditating, primarily learning through guided meditations, and when I went to my first training at the Chopra Center, having that first period, that first moment where we had to practice just kind of on our own in silence, I realized was a big hurdle for me for so many years because I was just terrified and convinced I couldn't do that. So part of it is just kind of jumping in and just seeing how it feels to explore without distractions like music or guidance. I'll still be guiding us today, but just as a way to start exploring that as a technique. We asked on our Instagram what you guys wanted the theme to be today, and you chose peace, which honestly is probably the primary reason I meditate and why I practice every single day for the past 10 years, twice a day. While I may not always feel kind of peace and ease within my meditation, I know there's so much happening in my physical and my emotional well-being that when I'm in kind of high demand situations or overwhelmed or anxious, that it's always accessible to me, and it's always a reminder if I can just kind of remember the practice, come back, that peace is always accessible. So that's going to be our focus today. So with that, I'm going to invite you guys to get comfortable, starting with that nice soft downward gaze. And just beginning to take the deepest breaths you've taken all day as you inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. And just allowing yourself to just get settled where you are, making any micro adjustments. Just making sure you feel comfortable, your body feels supported, your back feels supported. And then as you feel ready, you can gently begin to close the eyes if that's comfortable for you. And just beginning to connect with the breath pattern that feels most natural to you in this moment. You can continue inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. If you're feeling drawn to bring the breath a little bit more inward, just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And with the eyes closed, just allowing yourself to become aware of all the sounds in your environment. So just because we're practicing in silence doesn't mean there aren't sounds. There will always be sounds. And just welcoming every sound we hear is an invitation to just come back to the breath, come back to this moment. And just beginning to settle in with the cadence of your breath. Just noticing how each inhale and exhale naturally becomes elongated as you just allow your attention to rest on the breath. If thoughts arise or your attention drifts, just knowing that's normal. Now as you continue to breathe, just becoming aware of the pause that exists at the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. And just allowing yourself to just be present to this pause, however fleeting, at the transition of each breath cycle. And just acknowledging how that pause is always there and always leads us to the next breath. And now if it's comfortable for you, just allowing yourself to just suspend the breath for just 1 or 2 counts again at the top of that inhale and the bottom of the exhale, just so you can sustain within that pause for a few extra moments. Never forcing it so it feels uncomfortable, just allowing yourself to sustain within that pause. As you continue to breathe in this way, just allowing yourself to observe the stillness that does reside within that pause. And so as you connect with the stillness at the top of the inhale, the bottom of the exhale, you can imagine that that stillness, the energy of that stillness is being pulled through each breath cycle. So ultimately, this stillness, this peace, is just continuing to become enlivened with each breath cycle. Just allowing yourself to continue to breathe. You can let the breath return to its natural cadence, so no need to suspend the breath within that pause. But just allowing the essence of that stillness, that peace, continue to permeate your being with each breath cycle. And we're just going to stay here for a few more moments. I'll keep track of the time. Again, with the silence, you may become more aware of sounds in the environment. You might hear Buck in the background breathing. But just allowing those sounds or the thoughts or even the awkwardness of the silence just return you back to the breath, to this moment. If you like, you can introduce the silent mantra of hum, sa. Just treating it as a gentle whisper coming from within. Again, if thoughts arise or your attention drifts, just returning back to the repetition, or if that's not resonating, to the breath. We'll stay here for a few more moments. I'll keep track of the time and you'll hear my voice when our time has come to an end. Now just beginning to give yourself some deeper breaths as you bring your awareness back to the room that you're in, back to the sounds in the environment. Beginning to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And just taking whatever stretch is feeling good, perhaps some gentle neck rolls or stretching the arms or legs. And as you feel ready, you can gently begin to flutter the eyes open. So again, as a reminder, whatever your experience, especially without the music, a lot of times when we're first experiencing without guidance or sound, it can feel like even more thoughts are flooding in. So that's totally normal. Again, a reminder that any thoughts or physical itches and twitches or emotions that come up within the meditation are just signs of our body de-stressing. So would love to hear how that was for you guys, if you prefer music or prefer silence, or perhaps we start alternating between the two, but would love your feedback. So as always, we'll finish with a quote. This honestly is a quote that I really feel like I live by, but the author is unknown. So if anyone knows the author, please let us know. Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. And again, for me, this is the ultimate byproduct of a meditation practice. So thank you guys for exploring. Sure appreciate you and hope you have a great rest of the day. Take care.